Hey guys, did any of you have any questions about climate change? This week it's your opportunity. So this here is Dr. Frank Oldfield. This is the father of this guy, Don Fee. And later this month, Don Fee is going to go and visit his father. So you might have noticed a few weeks ago we posted a podcast with Dr. Frank Oldfield on climate change, and Don Fee and his father are working on 11 more episodes. So we're gonna release them every month. We're gonna release one of the podcasts. But next month, Don Fee is visiting his father, and he's recording a few more of those episodes. And this is our chance. So if any of you ever wanted to ask a question to somebody who has a lot of knowledge and expertise on any subject on climate change, then this is your chance. I have a question for the prof as well, but first, if you guys have a question, let us know. Send us a message either on YouTube here in the comments, on Facebook, or you can send an email as well. I'm gonna put an email and link. So So my question about climate change is about farming. I'm a big fan of the work of Alan Savory. Alan Savory is a world-renowned scientist as well, who did a lot of research into desertification. He's been responsible for big nature reserves in Africa and did a lot of research into overgrazing. So Alan Savory, it's not easy to explain this in 1 or 2 minutes, but basically he's taking grasslands that are desertifying and returning them into beautiful productive grasslands, and while doing so he's storing a lot of carbon into the soil. So this idea could, he made some calculations, and according to him, if we would do this on a big scale, we could go to pre-industrial levels of carbon emission in a matter of a few years. So basically what you do now, if there's an area desertifying, they usually look first to the livestock that's on the land, and typically they take all the livestock away. Alan Savory found out that that may not be the best idea to do, so because there's a whole ecosystem that needs the impact of big mammals. Grass needs grazers, so if you take away the grazers, the grasslands just die, they oxidize, they die out. He made a framework where farmers can work by, so basically a holistic management. Instead of reducing the number of livestock, he often increases the number of livestock, but make sure that the herd is always moving. So now often farmlands or national parks have a certain amount of animals, and the animals are free to roam in the field or in the park. And what he's doing is, instead of giving the animals all the place they want all the time, he's reducing the size of the field, but always moving. So let's say for half a day he gives them certain amount of piece of land, that enough so they can feed themselves, and everything they didn't eat they have trampled, or they have spread their manure and urine all over the place, so that place gets really fertile again, very healthy. The grass that gets trampled, it gets the opportunity to decompose. The manure gets spread, etc. While if you would just leave the animals grazing all the time, they would always go back to the same plants, always grazing them till they are very small plants. But because of keeping them in a small space for a short time and then moving them on, letting that place rest for at least 30 days, even more, that grassland gets the time to restore. So he has proven that, according to his research, we could get carbon levels back to pre-industrial levels just by applying his grazing management system. So to me that's a really crazy idea. It's very simple. We don't need technology for it. We just need people to manage it and to understand the whole cycle, the nutrient cycle, how the plants, how grasslands grow, etc. So it's basically just management and place. It's a very basic, simple idea that we can implement now. But I just wonder, is that possible? Can we really get to pre-industrial levels again when it comes to carbon, to carbon emissions? Because we're still polluting a lot. But he is convinced of the fact that if we would do this on a certain amount of land, the degraded lands that we have now all over the world, which are basically useless now, if we put them back into production, restore that carbon, that would take us back to pre-industrial levels. So my question is that possible while we're still the world is still polluting like crazy? Is it still possible to do that on the same time and get the levels down? That was my question. I will put a link to Alan Savory, his work, in the description. So if any of you is interested, you can find out more about him and his work. And yeah, if any of you have any questions, please feel free to send them. We would love to hear from you. And see you guys soon. Bless.